Hi, I am Kedger on Two Wheels, and today is finally the day for the CBR 650 F. So I'm doing this here on the gas station because I picked this up from Honda Portugal. There. Oh, I brought you guys to a scenic location. Thing is, weather fudged it up. Look at this. From here you are supposed to see the sea and a huge valley. All you can see are clouds. So, this is the CBR 650F, and this is going to be its walk around. First things first, front tire 120, rear is a huge 180 with tire. Stock tires are some very good Dunlop Sport Max. I really like these, but since it's raining I've been going at it really easily. And keep going front to back. You have a dual wavy disc brake, and as you can see from here in this sensor, you have ABS. The sticker also tells you you have ABS. Moving slightly back, you have a single headlamp, which is something, it begins to annoy me because bikes only usually have one light, and how hard can it be, you guys, to use two lamps, one for low beams and one for high beams, so that we get proper nighttime illumination from our motorcycles. People, we ride at night, we need good lighting, or two. Just sort it out. Everyone, not just Honda, everyone. I guess weight is a consideration, but yeah, whatever. Okay, onwards. You have these pretty indicators. They're not ugly, okay? If there's one thing that Honda does way better than everyone else are the indicators, because they're not quite as ugly as Yamaha's and Kawasaki's ones, okay? Pretty-ish indicators, which kind of do well with the rest of the bike. You have your four-cylinder 85 horsepower 650cc engine-ish, with the exhaust tucked in under the bike, which I really like. Gives it a really nice clean look, and on this particular bike it also has the added advantage of showing off the pretty swing arm, which is something, if you remember, the VFR 800X did not have. Beautiful single-sided swing arm, beautiful rim, all hidden behind an exhaust. This is a much prettier solution. Okay, it costs a bit more if you want to do a stock an aftermarket exhaust, but all in all, this is a fantastic solution. And I'm going to talk about build quality in a minute, but just even look at this. It's all perfectly built mechanically. All the wires are tucked in away. There's no loose wiring. Look how braided this is. Everything's where it's supposed to be. It's a beautiful machine. Okay? Talk about that later. Then it has this awfully ugly, we call it the codfish because it looks like a codfish tail, but that's just nasty, okay? This is because European law and most countries' laws say that the license plate has to be behind the rear wheel, so that's why that thing's there. But on this bike it's just so ugly. On some bikes it kind of works, but crikey, that's ugly. It just ruins the bike. So yeah, that's the first mod. Get rid of that. Chain drive as usual. Get your gear levers and the gear pedals and whatnot. Oh, detail. The rear disc brake is just like the NC700s, in which it is the inside of the front one. They look kind of bigger than the NC700 ones. Brakes are awesome. Brakes are really strong. So yeah. Now, about the thing that I read the most about this bike, people saying, oh, build quality is kind of crappy. I didn't quite believe it, because look at it. Does it look like bad build quality? And then you go in and look at it really carefully. Look at this. Okay, Honda, this is not your usual product, okay? You don't do this. Someone ought to get fired for this. And for this. Why does this panel not fit with this one? This is a Honda, it's not a Keyway, okay? And what the hell is this seam here about? Seriously? And this here, and these plastics here are a bit nasty. And what is this hole here? Come on, guys, you can do much better than that. You do much better than that. So, I am 100% positive this is not built in Japan. Okay? Japanese would be committing seppuku in droves if they built stuff like this. I did not mean to offend Japanese people, but you get my point. Built like this would never leave a Japanese factory, so this is not built in Japan, and I will discover where it is built, because in Japan it is not. So, other than that, okay, I'm nitpicking a bit. Look, this is also... What the hell? Okay, so I'm nitpicking a bit. Okay, so build quality is not perfect, but mechanically the bike is perfect. Okay, just look at it. And now on to riding. So I picked this bike from Honda Portugal itself. Kudos to, and please go like their Facebook page, even though it's in Portuguese. Espírito Honda, that's Honda Spirit. Oh, I wanted to go that way. That's Honda Spirit. They hooked me up with Honda Portugal, so I got this one finally from Honda Portugal. And this is a bike I've been very keen to test for quite a while. And now I can finally do the comparison between this and my very beloved XJ6. Fortunately, I've just ridden the XJ6 a couple of days ago, so I am still in that mindset. I have also reviewed the video a couple of times so I could remember how it is, and so I can actually directly compare the two. Okay, Honda has a slight advantage on this. Why? Because this is a more modern bike. The XJ6 has been around for quite a while, and this is a brand new one. This engine supposedly uses less fuel, so this does have that advantage of being a more modern bike. So let's see how that goes. The dash itself is just like the CB500F, CB650F I test rode some time ago. This one has ABS, unlike the CBF. Okay, ABS comes as stock. Now I'm going to go to work because Honda has lent me this for 2 whole days. It's Wednesday and I'm going to deliver it either Thursday afternoon, which I can't make because I have to work, or Friday morning, which I will be able to do. So let's see how that goes. Mirrors seem to be a bit iffy. Okay, yeah, so let's see how that goes. First test, which will be a speeding test, should be warmed up enough now. Riding position is a bit more aggressive than the XJ6, but still relatively half and half. If I scoot my ass backwards like I did, it's a super sport position. If I put it forward, it is almost a touring position. So I'm going to scoot my ass back, go into fourth, and roll. Well, it's fast enough, I'll grant you that. There's a lot of wind on my helmet. This windscreen is shooting air directly into my helmet, making for quite a noisy experience. The fact that when I tuck in I'm almost touching the screen also doesn't quite help, because the XJ6 has the instrument cluster and the windscreen a bit farther out. It's a bit farther out and slightly higher. This one's a bit down and close to you. So you are sitting more forward on the bike, more on top of the front wheel than on the XJ6. That's the first difference I noticed when I hopped onto this one. Everything's really close. Looks like a repurposed naked bike. Oh wait, it is! Yeah, these mirrors are really hard to look out of. These stalks are a bit too small for the bike. Slightly longer stalks would make wonders for this. And I can't say I like the double dash. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm a bit so-and-so. Okay, it does give back that old dual dash thingy that are on classical bikes, but for that image to be complete, the tachometer should be on one and the speedo should be on the other, but it's not. So I'm a bit... I'd prefer the old the old Hornets one. That was a very pretty one, but okay, oh well. We have this one. So this bike has a bit less power than the old Hornet and the old CBR 600F. But it's supposedly so that it can be restricted for the A2 riders, and so it has more torque for the whole rev range. And well, I'm in 6th gear at 5,000 RPM, which is cruising speed and less throttle, and it does have some torque, although under 7,000, just like the CBF, it's a bit tame-ish. So let's take this Honda cityscaping. Oh look, bumps. I must say, on these degraded pavements, it still works. Suspension is firm, but not too much. It is firm, not stiff. So it does cope well with relatively poor pavement, or as well as you could expect. Okay, it is still sporty, but it's not going to break your back. And as I said before, riding position is also a slight intermediate. Brakes are very strong, but riding position is a bit intermediate, a bit more leaned over than the XJ6, but not by that much, but still a bit more. And it works perfectly fine as a daily ride or a daily commuter. And go. That was quick and smooth and pleasurable. It does have pace, I'll give you that. And that felt really good, but it never felt overwhelming. So it's really smooth. There's no big spikes in power. I'm not sure if I went all the way up to 11,000 RPM. I'll have to review that. But it was nice. It was nicely done and controlled. The XJ6, when you do this, the front starts going light because it begins to want to wheelie a bit. Not that much on this one, probably because I'm leaned over on the front more. So there's probably more weight on the front, so it doesn't like to wheelie all that much, or as much as the XJ6. But it is a 4-cylinder, so smoothness is the key here, and it is very smooth indeed. Okay, let's try braking from 60 to 0 and 60. That was a bad brake from me. Could have done that a lot better. It is a bike that does like to lean. Feels nice leaning on this one. It is a bit heavier going side to side than the XJ6. It's less agile, but it feels nice cornering on this. That big fat tire at the rear gives you a good sense of security. And just like all Hondas, it is exquisitely easy to ride. Nice thing about it, even if it is a 4-cylinder sporty machine, one, it looks great. Just look at me over there, huh? Don't I look great on that? And even though it is a sporty machine, getting up from 0, look, no accelerator. And it goes, except that I stalled it. It goes really easily, even at 1000 RPM. You just roll throttle and it goes. Gearbox is super smooth. super smooth. It's ridiculously smooth, this gearbox. You can barely feel the gears going up or down. So it is much smoother than any other bike I've maybe not than any other bike, but I can't really say that for sure. But it is very much better than the NC700, much better than the XJ6. Now this was a much more proper knots to 100. And this time you could hear her sing. Last time I only went up to say half the rev or something. This time I went much higher and it felt much better. Yeah, and this feels good on this bike. This feels great on this bike. I like the way it handles. Feels like a cracking bike. Now let's go for some properly bad pavement. Because I know this is full of bumps here. Where are the bumps? Oh, here are some. Oh, here it is. Yeah, nah, it deals with this perfectly. So yes, this is very nice for city. It will work. See how it goes on the test track.